Cyberfrog. I did the unboxing yesterday, the big reveal. So now let's do the review. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Long Box Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box, and sometimes from Indiegogo. So today we are reviewing Cyberfrog. So a little history with Cyberfrog. If you don't know, this is not a new character. It didn't just come about. This is a character that has origins way back. So it was originally published back in 1996 by Harris Comics, and ran for about 8 issues or so. Ethan Van Sciver was the artist, the writer, and did covers on those. Had somebody else doing the art or the ink or the coloring. But I remember these way back. I remember reading them. I remember seeing them. Unfortunately, I no longer have any of those. And when I was like, oh man, I had them, but I don't have any more. So when I saw Cyberfrog launch in Indiegogo, I was like, you know what, I got to get a copy of that. So I did, and I just got the regular edition. Nothing fancy. I didn't think anything about it. I want a copy again. And honestly, I didn't expect a signed edition, which was a fantastic addition to that. Mine was signed, and then I got a chromium cover. All that was bonus for me, and I really appreciated it. But like I said, like I've said before, I read everything I buy. So I didn't buy it with the idea that I was going to put it in a slab and put it away. I read it. I would like it. I enjoy it, and it's going to go bag and board and be put in my long box. So, but I just wanted to discuss, what I'd liked about this one in particular. So Cyberfrog Blood Honey comes in 3 parts, which I did not realize until I started reading it. It comes actually in 3 different parts. The first is the past. It kind of acts as a segue, kind of catches you up into the story, in the story of Cyberfrog, and the different characters in it, the different people, things of that sort. The part 2 is about the invasion of the Vyzpz. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. It's spelled V-Y-Z-P-Z-Z. Vyzpz, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Maybe Ethan can correct me on that. I have not heard how he pronounces it, but it's them. So that kind of deals with our main characters meeting them as they invade the Earth. Now, part 3 is sometime later with the cliffhanger at the end, and kind of segues into hopefully what would be additional stories and additional books. So let's get into this review on this one I got right. This one right here. Cyberfrog Blood Honey. So in this, there's some things that, let's go through the things I didn't like. I like getting bad news out of the way. So first, part 1 felt a little hurried. As I read it, it was just kind of skipped over some ideas. And reading it before, I kind of had some, but it's been a long time. So it left me with a lot of whys. Why did that thing come here? Why did that do that? Why did we have this? So there's different whys to it. Now, it introduced the characters. It introduced, Cyberfrog, Salamandroid. It introduced, forgot her name already. Oh boy, that's embarrassing. Heather Swain. So it introduced all these different characters. But I wanted a little bit more of why. Who are the Vyzpz? Why was it a danger? Why did that thing come here, and why did Cyberfrog get created? Why did I see why Salamandroid was created. I really was left with what's the difference between the two. There is a difference, but I'm not sure 100% what it was. So I would have liked some more. No, so that's why it's not really a bad thing. I'm left with a lot of whys and a lot of okay, I want more, but that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing that I want more, but it's a bad thing that I didn't get it. So it got added to the bad thing side. Sorry. All right, part 2. It didn't have enough story for me. I wanted more, which again is good, but I wanted more. So it wasn't hurried. It was nice. It wasn't hurried. It was just there wasn't a lot of completion in that story. It just kind of come right up to this, and then that was all we got. Now it slowed down. We got to see some character development. We got to see where they are now. We got to see Cyberfrog's love for fried chicken. Fantastic. Then we had some bad guys show up and had a good fight scene. That was great. Then we had the big baddies show up. I just wanted more. I wanted more of that story, more of the fight, more of different things that happen in there. And that would have been fantastic. Now, third thing I had an issue with is during the fight with the Pollinate, Salamandroid came off as a much better character than Cyberfrog. We see Cyberfrog for a couple panels, and then it's like all Salamandroid. I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, Salamandroid looked cool. All right, so on to the good things. While fighting the Pollinate, Salamandroid looked cool. It was awesome. Some of the best panels in that book was with Salamandroid in it. It was fantastic. The way he fought, the way he, the strength of him, it was fantastic. Now, I would have liked to see, Cyberfrog have a little bit more of that and some of the cool stuff with him. But Ethan really showcased Salamandroid to me, and it was fantastic. At least that's what popped out to me. Number two, the art was incredible. I've collected a lot of Ethan stuff over the years, and this is probably the best art I've seen Ethan do. So, top notch. Great job. The colors made, number three, the colors made the art even better, which is, not the norm, but this time it did. Kyle Ritter is probably one of the best colorists out there. It was fantastic. The colors just popped, man. It was crazy. Number four, I loved the humor in the book. There were some humorous parts. There was some poking fun at Clinton, the whole Lewinsky thing. There were some jabs during the fight, Salamandroid saying some things and counting down Pollinate. Funny. Salamandroid had the standout side scene where he's standing outside and Cyberfrog's eating the chicken and Heather is watching TV. That was just seeing him stick his head through the apartment. That was fantastic for me. It was very funny. So those conversations were great. The character development in that part was pretty good. I got a little bit, but I wanted more. That's okay. We're on the good things. So part 3 was probably a perfect cliffhanger. Okay. And it definitely got me to where I want to buy the next issue. And I hope it comes out a lot sooner than this one did. With experience, maybe it'll come out a year from now, maybe less. I hope. It was a lot of good stuff in there. That cliffhanger, so many questions. The way the world looked after the stuff, it was just great. Now, it did leave me with one question that I would like Ethan to answer. Why do you like red so much? Red figures prominently, and I don't know why. But maybe you can answer for me in the comments or Twitter. I don't care. Just why do you like red so much? All right, next. The last thing, I know it's not part of the comic per se, but the package it was shipped in was really, really nice. And that big, thick board, piece of cardboard in there, I could see the damage on that thing, and it protected my comic from the shipping. I like that. That was a good call. That was a good thing. I really appreciate you doing it like that, because I'm tired of getting comics that are all ripped up, messed up, because they were shipped in little bags or whatnot. So that was good. All right, so not a bad thing, not a good thing, but a pet peeve. If you look, the way this is, it bows. Right? You can see it like this. It bows naturally. So when it's in the case, the bag and board, that's no big deal. But I don't like that. That's just a pet peeve. And I think that's probably because of the size of the book with the chromium cover. It didn't take away from any of it. It's just my pet peeve. I'd rather have a cover that's flat that didn't bow up like that. Probably because I'm a little crazy. But just pet peeve for me. So now there's a controversy that's been surrounding it about ripples and the wavy stuff. It's barely there, if at all, and only maybe on the black page. The pages are completely black or have a lot of black on it, and only if you're looking for it. And you would have to be looking for it, and people are definitely looking for it, and they always will. But it's not an issue. It's not an issue in this comic. It doesn't affect the comic. It's not a messed up comic. It is a fantastic comic. It's not cheap paper. It is very, very well done, very expensively done, and definitely worth the money you spend on it. So just ignore that controversy. It is not a non-issue in my opinion. All right, so overall ranking, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. But because I think they had some pacing issues in the front, and then I needed a little bit more in the middle. But overall, I think Cyberfrog could have been more prominent in the fights. I would have liked to seen him be cooler. But the art, the humor, the colors, Salamandroid far outweighed any negative I had. It was a far better comic than it was, the pet peeves or the issues I had with it. So definitely worth the wait. Definitely worth the wait. I will wait next time and gladly. And please don't do Chromium again. I mean, it looks cool. Granted, it looks sick. I mean, it's fantastic. But pet peeve, I don't like my covered bowed. I don't like that. My covers are bow. I don't like my covers to bow. So, but yeah, I'll probably look for a non-Chromium option if you do Chromium again. But I will definitely be buying the next one. It was definitely worth the wait. It was definitely worth the time. You did a fantastic job, Ethan. Congrats. Clap for you. Clap for Kyle. And your letter, Somni. The lettering was fantastic too. I loved it. So overall, 7 out of 10. Definitely worth the money. There's some things I'm sure we can get right up into that 10 of 10 next time. I'm sure of it, because I see the potential here. So that's my review. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you here next time in the Long Box.